Hello, dear friends. I don't use a cell phone because I prefer a large screen of a desktop computer with a comfortable mouse than a ridiculous large screen to strain my eyes, and because I refuse to have a device glued to my ear and irradiate my brain with radio waves. But each human being depends on their personal or work needs, so I cannot criticize anyone, but warn of the risks that can generate any excessive dependence. Opinion piece. Slaves to the cell phone. Nomophobia is the fear of going out without a cell phone. The health crisis has worsened this dependence. Psychiatric disorder of addiction to the cell phone affects 53% of cell phone users, suffered by 60% of men and 20% of women. Stress is compared to the day before visiting a dentist. It generates anxiety, tachycardia, obsessions, and headaches. Strange sonic weapon attacks against civil servants on the rise. No one knows where an out-of-control Chinese rocket will land. Mexico's effort to block transgenic corn interfered with. Laser technology reveals details of a Mayan civilization in Yucatan. AMLO to apologize to Mayan people who resisted domination. China plans to use Bitcoin shrewdly to boost the digital yuan. Treasure hunters find clues to Hitler's huge gold hoard. Let's start. Fear of not being connected, anxiety about leaving your smartphone at home, or checking messages every few seconds. The cell phone is a tool that today is not missing in anyone's life, an essential device that in many cases becomes a serious health problem. This is also related to cyber addiction, also known as Internet addiction disorder, which is a term that refers to a pathology that involves an abusive use of the Internet through various devices that interfere with daily life. The health crisis seems to have worsened this dependency. In May 2020, the phone company found that after the confinement, the use of applications such as WhatsApp and Zoom shot up by 45%. In early March, another King's College London study of 143 students aged 18 to 30 found that nearly 4 in 10 were addicted to their smartphones, meaning they used their phone after midnight, didn't sleep well, and neglected other areas of their lives. Nomophobia. Nomophobia is the irrational fear of going out on the street without a cell phone or remaining for an interval of time without a cell phone, and is the latest of the diseases caused by new technologies. Its symptoms are recurrent anxiety, headache, upset stomach, tachycardia, obsessive thoughts and emotions. The term, which is an acronym of the English expression no mobile phone phobia, was coined during a study carried out by the British Royal Mail and commissioned to the YouGov Opinion Polling Institute to estimate the anxiety suffered by cell phone users. Initial studies revealed that the condition affects 53% of cell phone users. Going out of the street without a cell phone can lead to instability, aggression, and concentration difficulties, experts say. The first studies revealed that monophobia affects 53% of cell phone users. The pathology affects more men than women. Among women, 48 experience anxiety when they have little battery or coverage left, while this feeling occurs in 58% of the men surveyed. Many people tend to feel anxious when they lose their cell phone, run out of battery or credit, or have no network coverage. According to the study, around 60% of men and 20% of women suffered from the phobia, and an additional 9% feel stressed when their mobiles are switched off. Research has also shown that the stress levels of a person with monophobia are comparable to the nerves one has the day before a wedding or a visit to the dentist. Causes. One of the predominant causes is becoming dependent on others, since the cell phone is a tool for connecting with people, thus being a problem of self-esteem and the need for acceptance and attention for the cyber world. Because self-esteem is a set of thoughts, perceptions, feelings, emotions, evaluations, and behaviors directed towards oneself, individuals suffering from nomophobia have a low rate of self-esteem and acceptance of their person, worrying second by second about the opinion of others, while establishing a dependence on their smartphone, which keeps them informed about discussions or comments directed towards him or her. Another cause is personal insecurity, since if we are away from home without our cell phone, we feel vulnerable, isolated, and lonely, which causes anxiety and uncertainty, wondering if someone is trying to reach us throughout the call, messages, or if something is being said about us on the internet. Nomophobic profile. In terms of age, it is a phobia that can develop at any age. But teenagers are the most vulnerable because they are at the stage when they want to discover themselves and have more knowledge in technology than older people. The profile of someone with this phobia is a person lacking self-acceptance, with frustrations about real life and low self-esteem. It is a person who rejects the fact of having a dependence on the cell phone and justifies it with arguments that they have to be aware of work, school, partners, or family. Someone who doesn't necessarily tend to be looking at the screen of their cell phone, but who requires their cell phone in their hand or pocket. Consequences. The consequences generated by an absolute dependence on the cell phone is sometimes uncontrollable addiction, symptoms of diseases, or an affection to real interpersonal relationships, as well as the loss of empathy. Nomophobia develops like any addiction, and it goes throughout different stages, from initiation throughout affirmation and ending in the stage of need or dependence. It also presents health consequences that can generate from discomfort in joints, eyes, bones, and ears to insomnia, depression, and anxiety. The affectation in interpersonal relationships is also affected by the excessive use of cell phones, since we distance ourselves from people, friends, family, co-workers, and even emotional partners, because although the main cause of this phobia is acceptance and social attention, this we seek through the screen of our cell phone and not throughout real life and tangible relationships. Other technopathies. Along with monophobia and closely related to marketing, the names of other technological diseases or technopathies have become popular, some neurological and others physical, such as FOMO, fear of missing out, or anguish of missing something important on social networks, phantom vibration, or believing that the mobile sends us an alert or vibration that in reality has not occurred. WhatsApp apnea or checking WhatsApp compulsively, looking for new messages, and many more. United States Senate intelligence leaders say mysterious sonic weapon attacks on US officials on the rise. After it was revealed Thursday that intelligence is investigating at least 2 possible directed energy sonic attacks on White House staff, one of which allegedly occurred near the White House grounds, the Senate Intelligence Committee weighed in Friday, saying such mysterious incidents appear to be occurring with greater frequency around the world. Huge, human-sized lake sturgeon hatched about 100 years ago caught in U.S. Specialists from the Fish and Wildlife Service made the catch, and after taking a few photos of the specimen, touched it with a chip and released it back into the water. The thing got a huge 108.8 kilogram human-sized female lake sturgeon, born at least 100 years ago. The fish was caught on April 22 in the Detroit, Michigan River. NATO will never match Russia's military strength, says former US official. NATO will never match the power of Russia's armed forces because the alliance serves only a propaganda function, said former Assistant Secretary on the Treasury Paul Craig Roberts. Russia develops a new system for naval battles. Russia is developing a military application system of underwater drone swarms, a senior source in the Russian defense industrial complex said. Why is the USA losing its former military might? Anatoly Wasserman, a well-known journalist and multiple winner of intellectual contests on Russian television, believes that the United States is losing its former military might and that the culprit for this phenomenon is the American country itself. For the expert, the problem is largely due to the fact that the US military industry of the present day is largely dependent on imports. Treasure hunters find clues to Hitler's gold hoard valued at nearly $700 million. The loot, contained in 48 boxes, would have been hidden by the Nazis in a Polish palace used as a brothel towards the end of the World War II. A team of treasure hunters believe they have found clues to the hiding place of some 10 tons of gold belonging to Adolf Hitler, valued at almost $700 million. Now they are preparing to excavate a Polish palace used as a brothel by the Nazis towards the end of the World War II. South America. Mexico's efforts to block genetically modified corn interfered with. A coalition of 80 U.S. agriculture, consumer, environmental, public health, and labor groups sent a letter Thursday to key government figures asking them to respect Mexico's sovereignty and refrain from interfering with its right to enact health protections policies, specifically the elimination of the herbicide glyphosate and the cultivation of genetically modified corn. AMLO to apologize to the Mayan people who resisted extermination and domination. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador has announced that he will lead the commemoration of the end of the caste war on May 3rd and ask forgiveness for the wrongs done to the Mayan people. Iván Duque asks Congress to withdraw the tax reform bill. The president announced that a new bill will be prepared based on consensus. After several days of protests in the country, the president of Colombia, Iván Duque, announced this Sunday the withdrawal of the tax reform presented to Congress in mid-April. Maduro announces that social benefits in the public sector will be calculated with the petro cryptocurrency. According to the president, this measure will serve to defend its value and protect workers' income. The president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, has announced that the social benefits of the public sector will be calculated based on the Venezuelan cryptocurrency Petro. The Petro is a Venezuelan cryptocurrency created in 2017, backed by the reserves of several natural resources of the Caribbean country. The lithium triangle. The most important challenge of the countries that make up the lithium triangle, Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina, is not only the people who are dedicated to the exploitation of the mineral called white gold, but to avoid repeating the path of exporting extractivism. As it is known, the triangle composed by the Salar de Hombre Muerto, Argentina, the Atacama Desert, Chile, and the Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia, contains 80% of the lithium reserves in the world's salt flats. Laser technology reveals details of a sophisticated Mayan civilization in Yucatan. The study discovered several types of structures in the mountainous region known as Ampuk, in the north of the peninsula. A group of scientists have discovered, with the help of modern laser technology, the remains of a sophisticated civilization of the ancient Maya in the north of the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico. North Korea accuses the US of insulting its leader and assures that it will not stand idly by. The recent speech of the US president and the review of the country's policies, as well as the administration's comments on human rights, make it clear that Washington intends to maintain a hostile policy towards North Korea, the Asian country's foreign minister declared on Sunday. China plans to use Bitcoin to boost the digital yuan. Chinese officials have backed the use of cryptocurrencies as an investment, but not as a medium of exchange, so as not to rekindle financial instability. In this way, cryptocurrencies can support their real economy, and electronic payment technology in digital currency could be employed to build their digital economy. Experts estimate China's new nuclear-powered submarine can reach the entire US mainland with its missiles. The Changzheng 18, a type of nuclear submarine, is capable of firing the GL-3 ballistic missile, which has a range of more than 10,000 kilometers, according to South China Morning Post source. The new Chinese nuclear-powered submarine is armed with the country's most powerful ballistic missile among all those launched for submersibles, capable of reaching the entire US mainland, experts consulted estimate. China's space station signifies the launch of a new battle for the galaxy. The prediction that a technological war with Beijing will unfold in outer space, and as the creation of a new space station and other successful missions demonstrate, China intends to win the strategic battle. On Thursday, China launched the core module of its first space station, Tianhe, or Harmony of the Heavens, into orbit, making a breakthrough in the country's space program. A massive Chinese rocket will make an uncontrolled re-entry in a few days. China successfully launched a key module of a new space station, Thursday, using the latest version of the Long March heavy lift booster. After completing its mission, the rocket's core stage is still in orbit and could perform an uncontrolled re-entry in the near term, according to Space News. It is a huge rocket body measuring more than 30 meters long and 5 meters wide, and weighs 21 metric tons. The object's speed travels at more than 7 kilometers per second. It is impossible to predict where and when the new Long March 5B stage will land. The decay of its orbit will increase as atmospheric drag makes it denser, Space News said. The craze. The most common species that interacts with humans is called Type 1 race. This is the most common alien race on the planet. This species possesses mobile consciousness. This is an inherent consciousness that can migrate from one physical body to another. It's not fixed to a specific organism. Human beings have a consciousness that is associated with a specific human body. This species is not like that at all. 1 second, its consciousness can inhabit a body on Earth, and a split second later, it could cohabit a body located on the Moon. This species has a different soul configuration. They do not have an individual soul tied to an individual consciousness. Instead, this species has a singular and complex master soul. Each and every species' consciousness is linked to the master soul. This species has mastered its evolution. They have incorporated DNA modification into their society and have evolved forms for specific roles and purposes. This species is very ancient. They have mastered spaceflight and genetic engineering long before they began interacting with Earth. We know that they have interacted with early humans at least 30,000 years ago. Spiritual messages. Seek your tribe. Allow the universe to bring in those people who resonate with you, and this will give you much strength according to the Arcturian Council. Allow yourself to be with your tribe, with your soul family, and feel how much more of source you become as you see yourself as a collective rather than as individuals who are trying to get what everyone needs to survive. You are coming to a time on Earth where these types of collaborative collectives will be necessary to help advance consciousness even further and to help ignite that initiative to bring you all together as one, a human collective, a family, a group of ascended beings, for that is truly who we are. Message from the ascended dragons. We are helping with the rescue of humans. We are taking them for rehabilitation. The human children are with our children because they are friends. Humans and dragons have a long history of friendship, and it will continue. Humans were designed by others to be their slaves. Freedom is coming to humankind and all that the dark ones have subjugated under their control. We are at the end of the last days. We are in the time of the final moments. We are in the space of the in-breath and the out-breath, where everything is possible and everything is changing. The Mother of all things has been blessing us, and the wind is now at our backs. The struggle is almost over. Humanity, you are loved. Humankind, you are safe. Humanity, you are saved. Many of you are to be congratulated for your night's work. Your dream work has fueled our efforts and the efforts of many who are on the side of the humanity trying to help, to give a wing, to heal, to hold space. We have brought many human hatchlings to our home for a healing space. They swim in the crystal clear waters and are nourished by the vibration of this realm. We are the Ascended Dragon Collective. We know you are tired. We lend our support. We lend our healing. We share our gifts. Now is the time to fly. You are welcome here, you of crystalline intent. Those on the path will vibrationally find this place of healing if they so desire. Life is bigger than you think, human. Life is grander than you have seen, little human. Human, be at peace. Take comfort. You are growing faster than you currently believe. You are more beautiful than you could ever imagine at this moment. Be prepared to accept more light into your body. I breathe my fiery ascension codes into your crown. Feel the warmth of my blue fire and feel the divine codes within you. Now connect this light to the core of your planet, Anchor. The lid has been replaced. Critical mass has been reached. You are there on an energetic level. You must align more with this energy, with Dragon's help. I have served humanity for a long time. This one and I have been together since the beginning. Many of you can say the same. Many of you have your dragon counterparts. Call them, connect with their ascended versions. We too have had to go throughout our transition. Send love, send healing. Sound the dragon call and set your own light code frequency with it, and they will call back. They will hear you throughout time-space. Send the violet flame upon our intention. Just connect with the ascended dragon. Do not be fooled. You cannot fool the dragon, but many human beings have been fooled. And so, create this link wisely with love and great tenderness of intention. Wisdom comes with time. Use your time wisely. Use this time to strengthen, solidify and ground. Use this time to find yourself, to find your joy. For joy will take you home to the higher dimensions. Don't focus on the echoes of chaos and endless noise throughout your boxes. The great end is near. Jesus throughout John. Nothing can avoid or elude the divine will. We are approaching the grand finale of this stage in your awakening process. It is not the most magnificent and wonderful event of the Great Awakening in all its glory, but it will be the most exciting and uplifting event that humanity have ever experienced. The Great Awakening is progressing beautifully, just as divinely planned, and it will be the last stage in humanity awakening process, when everyone makes the final decision to end the game of human separation, which has led to so much pain and suffering for all who choose it. To fully awaken to reality, your full and complete knowledge, understanding and experience of what is it to be one. To know and experience the oneness of being Father, Mother, God requires much preparation, because your choice to be human was a choice to experience the most intense form of separation you could ever conceive of, and at times it has been extremely intense. The grand finale is the long-awaited moment of humankind into heart-centered conscious awareness, and out of the meaningless state in which your egos have been dreaming for you in an unreal environment of form and matter that has lasted for eons. The joy of realizing what it is that it is was only a dream and unreal will be far greater than anything while you are enveloped in this dream state that you could have imagined possible when perhaps you tried to conceive of what it might be like to be in heaven, in the presence of God and all the heavenly hosts. Heart-centered awareness is the state in which, as human beings, you feel only love for all life, knowing that you are one with all life, and in which you love and accept yourself in your human forms without any reservations, knowing, as you definitively will, that you are following your divine guided path home to reality, and that everything that happens is part of the grand design you planned for yourself before you incarnated in form. Knowing this, and also knowing that you are constantly being held and assisted by your support team in the spiritual realms, with whom you can communicate clearly and easily at all times, dissolves all the fears and anxieties that were previously involved in being in human form. Remember, everyone awakens because it's God's will, and nothing can impede or prevent the divine will. Final personal opinion. If you want dates, I don't have them because I only have personal beliefs. But I believe that the great solar flash would be in 2023 and the disappearance of dense matter in 2038. That is, we have 18 years left to raise our frequency and pass the test. But this is only a personal belief. Thanks a lot, dear friends.